Notice I'm wearing my Amato's hat. Great fresh food, the original. So there's a reason I got this hat on. My man Dana had sent this to me from Maine because Amato's is the best restaurant, the best subs that you can possibly get in the great state of Maine. Meatball subs at Amato's kick ass. So there's a reason I'm wearing this because we're going to look at what socialists truly want, and I'm going to paint with a broad brush socialists. All right, now there's going to be individual socialists who are unique to this, but my observation I think is pretty keen actually. And so I'm reading my man Bob Bly, who's a big, I hate to say lib, but he's a big proponent of quote green unquote energy because we're all going to die of CO2. It's silly, but there he is. But I still like this book on Charles Steinmetz. Now, Proteus is Steinmetz. He just to kind of coin that term for his name. That's not his real middle name. Anyway, the electrical wizard of Schenectady. That's funny because when I hear electric wizard, there's a doom metal band called Electric Wizard. That kind of cracks me up. Anyway, so Steinmetz was a socialist, all right? And we're going to compare what he says with what Jane Jacobs said in The Death and Life of Great American Cities. And you're going to see a connection that I guarantee I'm the only one who made, which is why you watch my videos, because I'll make the connection for you and tell you how to think. All right, so Steinmetz was a socialist, and you can see a picture of Eugene Debs right there, who looks a lot like Lenin, doesn't he? Looks just like Lenin. I like Eugene Debs. I mean, I'm not a socialist. I'm an anti-socialist, that's for sure. But Eugene Debs was a true hero in America because he actually went to jail for his beliefs because he protested against World War I, and he protested in favor of railroad workers in Chicago and went to jail as well. He actually went to jail, unlike the Antifa mob of today who get kid glove treatment when they riot and cause harm and destruction and death. They don't suffer the way Eugene Debs was just for speaking out. It's crazy. But anyway, so Steinmetz, it turns out, was a socialist, and I'm going to share with you why I think this runs rampant in socialist circles. All right. Steinmetz is, worked for many years for GE, and he loved it. Even though Steinmetz was a socialist, in fact, he actually ran for state office on the socialist ticket, did Steinmetz. And he joined the Social Democratic Party in Germany as a youth, which by that time had been banned. And when the editor of that socialist paper for the Socialist Democratic Party was arrested in a prison, Steinmetz actually took over his duties. So Steinmetz is a long-time socialist. All right. But he worked for GE for decades. So you'd be like, whoa, Steinmetz, you're a socialist. You're working for the capitalistic dog. What the hell? In his 1916 book, America and the New Epoch, Epoch, I never understood how EPOC, like the Epic Times, Epoch Times, Steinmetz stated that he much preferred working for a large corporation to working for a small one, because he did work for a small one when he started his career, and then he worked for GE for decades. Here's a core of his arguments that merits the large corporation over small business. A large corporation operates on a carefully considered strategic plan designed and managed by executives who are trained business people and know what they are doing. This is so infantile to me. So a large corporation is run by trained business people who know what they're doing, an elite, if you will. By comparison, many small businesses are run by lone wolf entrepreneurs who fly by the seat of their pants without much regard for long-range strategic planning. In the corporate structure, a hierarchy of management and a board of directors lend stability to the company, make management decisions more collaboratively, and ensure that one's continued employment is not at the whim of one autocratic company owner who wields total power of the workers. Steinmetz also pointed out that large corporations keep profit margins modest and instead rely on the enormous volume of business to ensure adequate net profits. But smaller companies are run by solopreneurs and can't handle that many orders. So the big company can handle a lot of orders and they basically make profits by volume. Small companies, they raise the fees for the minimal orders they have. So big companies can achieve economies at scale, what we talk about in economics, small companies can't. Thus, big companies are preferable. So the revenues are modest for small companies. So again, this is the idiocy of socialism, or at least Steinmetz here. Now he's a brilliant electric wizard, but he says the Steinmetz keep profit margins modest and instead rely on economies of scale. But smaller companies but smaller companies, because they run by solopreneurs, can't handle as many orders. Their revenues are modest, so they must therefore focus on large margins to make good profits. Small business owners are often thrifty with paying vendors and employees because every penny is coming straight out of their pockets. Steinmetz realized that it took big corporation with a big R&D, research and development budget, to fund his research. And he concluded that the single business owner was an inefficient implementation of capitalism, in which the workers are often shortchanged with low pay, stingy benefits, and minimal job security at the whim of the owner and his temperament. He felt the best economic solution is a large corporation, a group of well-paid employees with good job security working for a management team, a board, and stockholders whose purchase of shares infuse capital into the organization. You see what's wrong. Top down, an elite management structure. That's what these guys want. Elitism. These guys know better than just freaking run-the-mill business owner on how to run a business. But there's no skin in the game. They have no capital invested. None. They're just employees, not owners. So Steinmetz's argument is, well, if you're an employee, you're going to, as long as everyone's making a little bit of money, you're going to be happy. If you're an owner, you want to make a lot of money. No. Owners look to survive, freaking Steinmetz, freaking idiot. I hate this crap. But that's what socialists want. They want top down. The elite class. I was talking to the guy, I'm not going to say his name. He has a channel. I like him. But he goes, yeah, whenever there's a problem, we need to take just a month off, stop everything for a month and let the economists take over. And we'll be put back on proper footing. I was like, do you actually believe that? Like there's an elite group of people who know how to run an economy? It's top-down socialism, a command, a planned economy versus bottom-up individualism, laissez-faire. Now, I want to read you why that's a problem. All right, so we're going to read this right here, why I got my Amados hat on. So check this again. This is from The Death and Life of Great American Cities by Jane Jacobs. My mom recommended this to me, and this is written in the late 50s. All right. Hold on just a second. She talks about how you can eliminate crime in cities. And it's interesting. So one of her ways are, storekeepers and other small businessmen are typically strong proponents of peace and order. They hate broken windows and they hate holdups. They hate having customers made nervous about safety. They are great street watchers and sidewalk guardians if present in sufficient numbers. So basically her argument is you need sidewalks that are full of economic activity all day, all night, all day and all the night. Isn't that interesting? You can't make people use streets they have no reason to use. You can't make people watch streets they do not want to be on. Safety on the streets by surveillance and mutual policing of one another sounds grim, but in real life it's not grim. The safety of the street works best, most casually, with the least frequent taint of hostility or suspicion, precisely where people are using and most enjoying the city streets voluntarily and are least conscious normally that they are policing. The basic requisite for such surveillance is a substantial quantity of stores and other public places sprinkled along the sidewalks of a district. Enterprises and public places that are used by evening and night must be even among them. Stores, bars, and restaurants are the chief examples, but work in several different and complex ways to abet safety, sidewalk safety. So her argument is small business owners and entrepreneurs who have a ownership stake in keeping the police so that you don't get your store broken into. Because that is their business. That is their livelihood. Amados comes to mind. A small business that says, look, man, we can't afford to have a window broken because we have to use that money to pay for freaking employees to make the subs. We're operating on very, very thin margins. And by the way, for a stupid Steinmetz, yeah, I'm pissed. I mean, he's a brilliant guy in electricity, but the idea that the large corporation that command and can control economy, be it from government or from corporatism, is more efficient. Well, it's more efficient if you're looking at it from a command and control economy. Yes, planned. We're going to plan your life. How boring is that? Why do you think strip malls came around? corporations, they say, hey, we can maximize profits to pay employees by buying land out in the suburbs, strip malls, and we just put it off the side. You're not walking. You're not walking. You're driving to that. You're going into your little Marshalls or Target. You're getting back in from your drive when you're leaving. You're not walking into the store. Thus, the plan and control economy led to that kind of stuff. Strip malls, suburbs. The day-to-day business owner says, I can't have a shop that's all by itself where people have to drive to. I have to put it where people can walk to. And why are they walking through town? Because there's other businesses available. Anyway, the point being is Steinmetz would love Costco, would love Walmart, would love Amazon because it's efficient. And the idea that Amazon and Walmart, they're not getting rich off the backs of labor? What the hell? I mean, look, this is old. I get it. The book he had written in 1916. Now in hindsight, 2020. But what we need, and this is the whole Main Street versus Wall Street thing, is we need Main Street to resume its dominance in America, man. Which means Wall Street is going to have to take it on the chin. Corporatism and socialism are two birds of the same feather, man. It's a command and control economy. We dictate, you execute. Well, who gets to choose? The elite, the business owners, well-trained, the academics. And yet the laissez-faire says, no, small business has to take over. Yeah, the net margin profits are low for the entirety, but yeah, you're going to buy a sub from Amato's and you're going to pay $7 for a meatball sub. Yeah, maybe it's $1 more than you get at Costco. Okay, but Amato's is in the neighborhood. We're the owners of Costco. We're the owners of Walmart. We're the owners of Target. Well, I'm an owner of it in my 401k. Yeah, no, you're not. I mean, you're owned a time, but you have no decisions, and it's not affecting your community. Anyway, so what happens is you have these big corporations, and their stores clean out. That's why, that's why we're the thriving, the arts, the businesses. We got to go back to that Main Street where unique individual business owners have a say to start something. To say, I'm going to start this storefront. I'm going to live above it. I'm going to commit my life 18 hours a day working there. The business owner says, I'm going to commit 10 hours a day if I'm a CEO or highly compensated employee. The rest, 8 hours, and I have no ownership stake. I really don't care that much about the company. I just want to get my paycheck. It's not the way it is for a thriving small business owner. Even a guy who's not thriving. Look, how much do I work? I work all the time. It's crazy. Anyway, so socialists, what they want is they want order. They want order. They want an elite to run because they're fearful of laissez-faire. When I say laissez-faire, I'm not talking just economics. I'm talking about people doing their own thing because it's chaotic. Socialists don't like chaos. It freaks them out. And why? Because Steinmetz was diminutive, whatever. He's like 4'8", had a hunchback. So he wanted protection from chaos. He wanted order to provide him protection. And socialists, at the end of the day, they want order because they want protection because they're living in fear. They're all out to get me. I need somebody to protect me. Not a good way to live your life, which is why socialists aren't happy people. Now, love your thoughts. We'll see you, man.